If you are in charge of managing AI systems or AI governance and you want to learn about the basic concepts and terminology, then this video is for you. So I'll explain you some general AI governance concepts, and then I'll explain you what are the key concepts to understand how AI works. And finally, I'll present you some basic risks for AI systems. And I'll also show you where you can find a free course that will teach you in even more details about these key concepts and terminology. So after you watch this video, you'll have a clear idea on what are these basic concepts upon which the AI governance is built upon. Okay, let's start first with some general concepts that are important for AI governance. So first of all, AI trustworthiness is the ultimate goal that you want to achieve with applying of AI governance. And this AI trustworthiness basically means that AI systems actually perform as expected, that all stakeholders are actually satisfied and that they can actually check if these AI systems are performing as expected. And sometimes instead of this AI trustworthiness, you could hear that this overall goal is safe and responsible and ethical AI. But ultimately it comes down to the same thing. Okay, second concept are these AI objectives or principles. And basically these are kind of high-level directives which you want your AI systems to follow. And there can be many of these objectives or principles like privacy, cybersecurity, safety, maintainability, environmental impact, accountability, fairness, robustness, transparency, human oversight, and so on. And then the third concept is very important, and actually it lies at the core of AI governance, and this is basically assessment of AI risks and then applying controls to decrease those risks. Now, why is this important? Because if you want to achieve this AI trustworthiness, then you have to decrease all the potential bad things from happening, and to achieve that you actually have to analyze what could go wrong, meaning you have to do the risk assessment, and then you actually have to do some things upfront so that these bad things do not happen, and basically these are these AI controls. So ultimately you could say that AI governance is basically doing the risk assessment and applying controls in order to achieve this AI trustworthiness, while at the same time complying with these objectives and principles. Okay, let's now go through a couple of concepts that are key for understanding how AI works. So an AI system is basically an IT system that produces as output, text or video or audio or various other types of outputs based on data and based on reasoning of various AI models. Okay, next, generative AI, or sometimes called Gen AI, is basically any AI system that creates new content. Again, this could be text, video, audio, computer code, or anything similar to this. And there are different types of generative AI, large language models, video models, audio models, code generation models, and so on. Next, a large language model, or LLM, is an AI model that is trained on a huge amount of text, and it is actually designed for natural language processing tasks like answering questions, writing essays, these kind of things. And basically each major chatbot like ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude has an LLM behind it, and basically this LLM enables this chatbot to speak to you. Okay, next, machine learning is basically a process where these parameters within large language models and other AI models, where they're optimized so that they actually behave in a way that you want. So basically these parameters are used to, let's say, configure these AI models. And when I say configure, I mean that basically the output is what you expected. So if you give the large language model a task to translate a sentence so that this sentence is translated into this other language in the best possible way. Okay, training data is basically the knowledge which the AI system has, and it uses this knowledge to actually recognize patterns within this data so that it can actually predict what the best answer could be based on the input it got from a user. And basically these large language models come with a huge data set of training data that was used for training this model, and this is usually all the internet web pages, but also transcripts from YouTube videos and so on and so forth. And a different type of training data that you will very often use is your company specific data. And this company specific data was, well, hopefully not used for training the large language model, rather it is your proprietary data, but still you can actually use this data when asking a particular question towards this large language model, let's say towards ChatGPT. Now, when uploading your own proprietary data to, let's say, ChatGPT, you have to make sure that you do not allow this chatbot to actually use this data to train their own models. And as another source of training data, you can actually ask the chat application to perform a web search so that actually the latest data is collected from the internet if you need this kind of an input for whatever task you're giving to AI system. Okay, next is AI inference. AI inference is basically the processing of these inputs using the training data, using the reasoning from AI model, and then using these to transform your input into an output. Now, this AI inference is very computer intensive, and this is why all of these AI data centers are built to put all of these computers with all of these AI chips so that they can actually process all of these inputs from various users, AI agents, and other AI apps. And finally, there is one AI concept that is really emerging, and these are AI agents. And basically, AI agents are parts of an AI system that actually understand their environment and take some actions autonomously. For example, in the future, you might have AI agents which actually perform certain shopping for you. You simply tell them, okay, I want to purchase this kind of device on the internet up to this price, and then they will find the most appropriate price and the most reliable vendor and simply do the shopping for you. Or AI agents might simply reply to very simple questions that you receive through email, whereas leave to you actually to answer some more complex questions. And of course, in the future, we will see many other use cases for these AI agents. Okay, now let's see some most common risks related to AI systems. I'll go through only 3 of them, whereas there are of course numerous other risks that I don't have really the time to cover in this very video. Okay, one common risk is bias. And this is basically when an AI system treats one group of people differently or preferentially over the other group of people. So an example could be an AI system for hiring new employees, and then that this hiring system actually prefers men over women. And this is of course not only ethically wrong, this could also be very bad for the company that is using such an AI system. Okay, second common risk is this hallucination. And basically hallucination is when an AI system provides you with an answer and it does it very convincingly, however the answer is simply wrong. And the problem is that you simply cannot know whether this is right or wrong because the AI system, presents this as a fact. And again, it does it very convincingly. And the third common risk is data leakage and privacy. And this can happen when, for example, as I already mentioned, when you actually upload some proprietary or sensitive data into a chatbot application, and then if you're not careful, then actually the chatbot can actually use this data for training its own model. And then when some other user asks a related question, he or she actually can get the answer which is based on your data, which means that some of your sensitive data might leak. And as I mentioned earlier, one of the key concepts of AI governance is that you actually find the most appropriate controls to actually resolve or reduce these risks. And now you might wonder, how to put all of this together, how to assess the risks and, find these controls, how to put all of these policies and procedures in place. And this is basically where this ISO 42001, this is an international standard, comes into play, because it actually explains how to implement AI governance. And by the way, this standard is accepted in all countries around the world, and you can certify your company against it, so you can actually prove to your customers and other stakeholders that you are governing your AI systems in the best possible way. Okay, let me now show you a free course that will teach you how to set up AI governance according to ISO 42001. Okay, I'm showing you now this ISO 42001 Foundations online course from Advisera, and here you can actually find some basic information about the course. But here you can actually see that you can sign up for the whole course for all these lessons for free, and you would have to pay only if you go for the certification exam. Okay, now let's see the curriculum, so the lessons. So here in this module 1, you can actually see some introduction lessons about the standard, but more importantly, you actually have these lessons that explain in detail these things that I was explaining you earlier in this video. So here you have this explanation of basic AI terminology. Basically, this is almost the same as you've seen already in the video, but here you actually have a separate lesson about machine learning and main types. Here you have a lesson about neural networks, about main components of an AI system, what is this AI system lifecycle, what are these stages of a lifecycle, and then basically from module 2 and further, you will see these lessons that explain all the clauses from ISO 42001, but these clauses clauses are basically building elements of AI governance. So basically these modules 2 to 6 actually explain you how to build systematic AI governance in a company. So for example, you have these lessons here about understanding the organization in its context, expectations of interested parties, and so on and so forth. Also here you can see about the top level policy, organizational roles, resources, and so on. And then module 3 provides you in detail, how to list the AI risks, how to analyze the level of impact and likelihoods, and then how to select particular controls to decrease these risks. So module 4 is about how to implement all of these controls into practice. Module 5 is about how to monitor and measure the whole AI governance system. And module 6 is about all of these AI controls. And by the way, there are 38 controls in this Annex A. And here is an explanation of all of them, including, for example, the controls related to training data, including also controls that explain what you have to do as part of each life cycle stage, some controls for the regular use of AI systems, and so on. Okay, hope this was helpful, and let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about these AI concepts, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And to access this ISO 42001 Foundations course that I was showing you, click the link in the description below, and you'll be able to open this free student account where you can actually go through all the training videos without any payment, and you would have to pay only for the certification exam if this is what you want to do. And see also my next video, which explains in further details what is this AI governance. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel not to miss any of my new videos, and I publish videos about AI governance and cybersecurity governance every week. Thanks for watching.